Hey, what's going on? It's that time, Motivational Monday. It's about to go down. Here on a mission to make Mondays great again. Right now, going through the 7 habits of highly effective people. Once again, I'll highly recommend that you check out the teen version of the book. It just uses common language and it's super, super, super good. I'm on habit number 5. Man, we are almost done. If you have any ideas of content or different things, I got a couple ideas of where I'm going to go next. But if you have, books that have impacted you in the sales field or in the interpersonal relationship field, go ahead and comment and send them my way. Man, I'm always looking for new content to break down. All right. So habit number 5 is probably one of my favorite habits of all time. I'm telling you, if you can get this, man, you will succeed, man, in your job. Man, you will succeed in your marriage, in your relationships, in your family relationships, relationships with your kids, man, pretty much everywhere you go. And it's so crazy because our society is conditioned to do the opposite, of this habit. So the habit is seek first to understand before being understood. I'm going to say it again. Seek first to understand before being understood. It is so backwards. I know. We're used to, when somebody's talking, be thinking about what we're going to respond. I don't know. It's like a insecurity or something. We feel like, oh, I need to have something to say. So I'm not listening to what you're saying. I'm just thinking about the question I'm going to ask next, the follow-up question, or what I have to say on the subject, and it seriously hinders interpersonal communication that happens. Man, you see this, man, all the time in relationships, man, arguments and all this stuff pop off, because, man, people aren't being understood, So Covey breaks this down. One of the quotes that he says is, most people do not listen with the intent to understand. They listen with the intent to reply. There's a famous video where it's not about the nail, right? And it's this crazy video where this girl literally has this nail like poking out of her head, and she's talking about how, she feels this pressure and this weight and all this stuff. And the guy's like, man, like there's a nail poking out of your head. It's crazy. And, but he's trying to empathize and all this stuff, and this whole thing is like, it's not about the nail, even though it may seem obvious. It's not about the nail. We need to use 2 ears, right? It's the reason why we have 1 mouth and 2 ears. We got to listen twice as much as we speak, and this comes in handy on the sales floor. I'm in sales, right? So many times, man, we lose out on closing a deal because we're so focused on our pitch. We're so focused on what we're going to say, how we're going to say it, what we're going to do, next and everything. We're not listening to the pain points that the client, the customer, whatever the case may be, if you're in the service industry, we're not listening to the pain points that they have. We could totally miss it, and we could almost shortchange them, which not only, leaves them shortchanged, but also us, because maybe we could have, sold more products or done more services if we actually listened and understood and sought to understand where they're coming from, right? And it actually makes a more complete sale, a more complete interaction when we actually tie our product to what they need, which we can only get that if we understand who they are, okay? So seek first to understand before being understood. Let's see. So if you're like most people, you probably seek first to be understood. You want to get your point across. And in doing so, you may ignore the other person completely. Pretend that you're listening, selectively hear only certain parts of the conversation, or attentively focus only on the words being said, right? It actually had this really cool thing, right? Because you so often listen autobiographically, you want to get your story across. You tend to respond in one of 4 ways. 1 is evaluating. You judge, and then you either agree or disagree. 2 is probing. You ask questions from your own frame of reference. 3, advising. You give counsel, advice, and solutions to problems. 4, interpreting. You analyze others' motives and behaviors based on your own experiences, right? So, man, bottom line, I always like to keep these short and sweet. Seek first to understand. As you go out in your work day today, maybe, in your relationship, you have date night, whatever the case may be. When you're asking how, that day was, or what's going on with that certain thing that's stressing you out, or whatever it is. Why did you come into Verizon today, or different things? Really, man, take the time, clear your mind. Don't think about the follow-up question. Don't think about, okay, man, I'm going to, say this or say that or whatever. Actually take the time to listen and understand them before getting your point across. All right. Hope you guys have a great day and apply this message.